terrible I'm doing my hair. But yeah, there's a few things I've been really thinking about after um, going through quite the test this past year. Because bullshit, narcissists. Yeah. I tell you what, when you smile, you get two reactions from people. One, you get people who want to be around you because they're attracted to the joy. And they realize you don't look like Scrooge, or that you don't look so cranky and creepy and, like, ooh, like, don't go near them. They look pissed. Which normally, I have bad resting bitch face. I do, and it's not like. So, I'm going to give you a few illustrations here. One illustration I'm going to give you when I got my job at the county. The boss, the one who ended up becoming my boss, who trained me. When I first started my job there, I was so excited. I went in there every day with a smile on my face. I only ever missed, out of 5 months, I missed 3 days. One day was a personal day that I took to take my daughter to the parade in Philly for the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. I had asked in advance. I told them if they win, I would like to go. And nobody else asked off, and I was granted that. So that was the day that I was allowed. I used my own time. I didn't get paid to go to there. But, they allowed me to go. The other 2 days, my daughter was in the hospital. So it was family leave time. I never took a day off of work sick, even though I've went in there a couple times throughout hacking and coughing, and I still went in there with a smile on my face. I was just happy to, go in there and help my people. Learn a new job. And I know I look ridiculous with this curling iron in my hair, but it'll look pretty after I'm done. One of the things I can tell you, and it kind of screwed me, and it messed me up, because this lady would tell me that when you go in there with being happy in the morning and other people aren't and I'm not a morning person. Anybody who knows me personally knows I don't like getting up in the morning. But I made a conscious effort to go in there and brighten people's day just by, smiling. How I know most of those people in that place are narcissists? Because they couldn't stand my joy in the morning. It pissed them off. Made them like, well, what is she so happy about? Yeah, give her a few months of here, she won't be happy no more. That's how I know they are all narcissists. They would talk about me behind my back. And the boss, what a bitch. She had told me the one day when we were out in the field, you might not want to come into work very often, like smiling like you do, because that people are going to start targeting you then, and they're going to, do everything in their power to try and get you fired. Because they're not happy. They don't want anyone else to be happy. She'd come into work every day with a smile on her face. Because she was scheming behind the scenes to get her boss's job. She was scheming for that. And she didn't like the fact that someone else went in there for no damn reason with a smile on their face. She liked to be the center of attention. even though she was fucking ugly and fat. And I'm not saying that to be mean and cruel and rude. I'm saying it because she made comments about me being so thin, I need to eat at lunchtime. I got reprimanded for not taking a half an hour lunch because I didn't have time. I was too busy running around for my people. They were so concerned about me. And I still chose to go into work to smile. I still did it. There toward the end where I was getting pummeled and thrown in the office every freaking week, I didn't know if I was going to get complaints or if I was going to get, I told them, if I ain't doing my job correctly, you fucking fire me. Pretty much. Because they gaslighted me. They brought me in a week before I got fired and said, wow, you corrected everything that we had asked you to. You're doing great. And then out of nowhere, she used her flying little monkeys to have me canned. With bullshit. None of it was even true. None of it. But, I mean, hey, I look at it like this. They did me a favor. And I would say, God put me here. He'll take me out when it's time. Well, he did. And for the longest time, I was in pretty much a grieving process because I was dealing with not just from that place. I mean, yeah, that place kind of put me in a depression, but I'm not going to let them get the best of me. They're not going to steal this smile off my face. And I had to learn I can't let outward people, what they say or do, affect my inward joy. Can't control people. That's the biggest thing. Can't control what people do. Can't control what people say. Can't control how people think. We can only control ourselves. And one of the other things that I had noticed, especially about during this time, this last few months of going through this healing and stuff, it was more of a healing and a reconstruction for my own sense of self. Like, you have to get that back after narcissistic abuse. And the more that I realized this wasn't necessarily about me getting, wasn't necessarily about me getting hurt on purpose. This was about teaching me something valuable it was a blessing for myself. And how I do not want to be toward other people. Because the littlest things that you say or do and how you treat people can affect somebody else. Yes. One of the things I had to do, and I'm going to put it on here, there are some great support groups through Facebook. When you're first getting out of this thing and when you're first learning how to, recognize, because your mind, when coming out of an abusive, manipulative situation, your mind's still teetering on, am I going crazy? Did that actually happen like that? Because of the gaslighting and, of course, the projection and stuff like that. Like, did that really go down like that? Because it's bizarre. How did I miss that? Like, and there's a lot of guilt and shame behind, there's a lot of guilt and shame behind, like, how did I let that happen to me? Like, I'm smarter than this. But, manipulative people are just masters at it. And when you're not a manipulative person, like, you don't think like they do. So you wouldn't think that somebody else could be so manipulative and evil. But they're out there. They're in the work. Like, it's so weird because Spirit showed me they're everywhere. And how you deal with them. How you deal with them. You can't be afraid of these people. Not anymore. How you deal with them will determine um, whether or not you've come out of the. There's a thing that I have saw online. It's called coming out of the narcissistic matrix, and it's kind of odd, but we've been living in this. We've been living in this narcissistic matrix with people. When you come out of that thing, when you come out of the narcissistic matrix, you know, and that sounds new agey or whatever. It's not meant to be. There's actually valid points to it. Um, there's the matrix of truth and love. The narcissistic matrix is all about the self and the I and the me. But you aren't gonna attract these people to you anymore. You're gonna be a repellent. Like, they're gonna see you. You're gonna notice in the upcoming days people just leaving your life because they can't handle you. They can't handle it. Because you're going to radiate too much joy and love and care and compassion. Yes, people will try to still, like, make you look bad, interject things about you, talk about you, how you handle that. You know, let people talk. A lot of people want to defend themselves. I'm done with that. I saw it. I saw the narcissist stuff, but it wasn't revealed to me what it was. However, it was revealed that it was a spiritual thing way long ago. When I talked a little bit about church, I saw when it came in the church that I was a part of. I know who were the narcissists in that church now that I know about narcissism. I know who the soul sucking, church killing people are in a church. A church that was walking in the direction of walking in power and healing and love became self-serving and about money. And still is. They don't do outreaches anymore. That was a big part of what our church did for people, was outreaching for kids. That church doesn't do that much anymore. They don't. And of course, you know, my ex-husband and I both were leaders. We were cell group leaders. So obviously we were going to be heavily attacked. Me being the sensitive female, and him, and I attribute this to the fact that I was more the emotional one. I just come to the realization last night with listening to stuff. My ex-husband's mother is a huge narcissist. The power of omission. She does that. Yep, she was abandoned in childhood by her real mother. Her real father didn't want nothing to do with her. Well, actually, he was like, how can I put it? He pretty much was a vagina when it came to sticking up for himself. And he let his ex-wife rule him. There is a Jezebel thing behind that whole thing. He was Ahab. His ex-wife, or his wife that he remarried, was Jezebel. My ex-husband's mom was brought up by her grandmother. but she's Miss Perfectionist. She would omit things. She would allude to things, and then she would omit that. Like when she was talking to me, she'd be like, she'd bring something up and be like, oh, I can't tell you the rest. Like she would just omit things, and because it's the power of the no and the power and control. So, as I'm doing and she's part of the reason, honestly, she's one of the biggest reasons why me and my ex-husband didn't work, because she played favorites with the grandchildren. She didn't like, see, she has six, she has one, two, three, four grandchildren that are boys, plus a step grandson who's my son, the oldest. And then she has one granddaughter. One. You would think she would like really want to get to know her granddaughter. No. My son, who I have with her son, my middle boy, I notice some of the ways he talks to me, some of the things he says about me is very narcissistic and cruel. He's 18. And the problem is me not wanting to destroy my children's environment, and me not wanting to hurt my kids and make them come and live with me, because I was living in a different school district at that point. I got ran out of my church. My ex-husband never stood up for me. Not one time. Blamed it on me. Said I should just, yeah, forgive. I tried that. Who am I going to listen to? I did forgive them. They didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know that they were being controlled by leadership, people who they put in leadership. They had no discernment at that point. Their eyes grew scales. They had put massive narcissists in as elders. The elders that they had commissioned when we first started there seemed to be great people. The second string of elders they commissioned, narcissists. Except for one couple. And this was years ago, people. I'm telling you, like years ago. And I remember like it's yesterday. I watched how that church went downhill. And here's the beautiful thing. As this narcissist bullshit was happening, God was hitting me hard, filling me with passion and fire to help people and love people, and giving me power to lay hands on people and they get healed. In his name. He allowed me to become a carrier of his glory. And a transmitter of it as well. We could lay hands on people, and guess what? Their gifts become activated. It's funny, I'm going to bring this up. This last narc, one day after work, this is in between the time of our separation, there was a guy who I laid hands on, who is an elder in the church, who I had asked God to transfer my gifts with him. He also ended up turning out to be the guy to tell me to shut up during prayer. So I ended up giving my gifts to somebody who didn't deserve it. We're activating it. God will deal with him. Either way, I guess the last narc I just dealt with, he had told me that the guy I laid hands on, which he didn't realize it was me, that he thought it was just the other guy. No, it was my gifts that activated that guy's gifts. Because what we're supposed to do when we go to these conferences and get hammered by God, I'm telling you, that was the first time in 2006 when I extremely felt the anointing. I was baptized in fire. My whole body was on fire. And it sounds, but it's on a metaphysical level. You feel it in your body. This isn't something that just goes to your brain and something that you think. No, this is something you feel. You know it to your core. And then God allows all this shit to come because he's commissioned you. And if you walk, which I've done it. You walk in self-pity and be like, well, what the fuck? What the hell? Like, I'm a beacon of you and I'm getting pummeled here, God. What's going on? You need to show up. He's like, oh, nothing you need to go through. Oh my gosh. Now you need to go through. Let's go through some tests now. See how much more glory. You've gone through some tests. You are faithful. Let's see how much more glory I can give you. Because you ain't getting it till you pass these tests and learn these lessons. And I'm like, oh, I want more of you. I want more of you, God. So, you're good. I know I've been really talking about the God of the Bible a lot on here. And you know why? That's where I found the power. That's where I found the joy. When it comes down to it, my choice, my best friend is Jesus. Always. You know why? I got lots of promises I heard my God speak over me. I'm not New Age. Even though, you want to know what? God has wrapped up this stuff so nice for me. And yeah, I guess we could say this is kind of my video on religion. I'm not religious, first off. I got a relationship. This is about relationship. And guess what? When you're in a relationship and you ain't just looking at a book and doing certain things and being like all religious and shit, when you actually are like, you want to know what? My daddy loves me. My heavenly daddy loves me. And wants to give me all the treasures that he can. He wants to give me all, wants to give it all to me. However, if you can't handle it, it will destroy you. So you have to go through tests and trials. You have to. So one of the things, one of the tests you're going to go through is have this smile radiate in the midst of losing your shit. Are you going to smile? You're going to show joy. You still going to love people? That's hard. The last thing I said when I lost my job, to flash forward a little bit, the last thing I said when I lost my job, sat before 3 or 4 people in there. This little letter I didn't even read till I got home. I said, you want to know what? When they said they were going to blah, blah, let me go. I looked at them and I said, you want to know what? I'm at peace with this. I'm at peace with whatever you want to say. Because you want to know what? I know I did my best. You want to know what? I know I don't deserve this. However, I accept your decision. Good luck. I'd much rather work directly with people than to be doing paperwork all day long. So, I was at peace with it. Because God, I came home and I prayed. Excuse me, I prayed. And I asked God, why? Why is this happening? And he said, just let it happen. I got something better for you. Something way better. You let them up to me. So yeah, the other video is kind of pissed off. It's kind of like, get one. You know what? No. I don't think I'm going to say anything. I'm going to let them expose themselves. I'm going to let them come crashing down. Because the state will figure it out. I mean, hopefully, I won't have to say anything. But I don't know yet. We'll see. I don't want to make any hasty decisions. Because especially, like, with this, just a blessing from God, like, I gotta step out of the way so he can freaking do his thing. I do. And just be happy and smile on my own and be like, hey, you. If I see them out, it's going to be, hey, you guys. How y'all doing in here? Because I don't know what he's got planned, man. I got to just be happy and joyful in the midst of whatever I do. So far, I've been sustained pretty good. I have. Praise God. And there's things that are working out. I wish they would work out a little bit better, but because I do believe, like, I kind of got at the point where I'm like, I really like a partner here. Someone who's like me, who has a passion to love and help people, who's willing to go where we need to go and not stay stationary. Like, it's kind of part of the reason I want to get rid of these houses so that I'm not forced to be in one spot, and then be like, oh, well, I got to sell these houses before I can be freed up just to go and do what I need to do so that I can be mobile and move. One of my dreams was to get a mobile home and, just go from state to state doing whatever I need to do. If I want to go and, to be honest, if I want to go and just go from one campground to the next, like in the summertime, I could be up here in Pennsylvania or around New York and just travel. I love the earth. I love nature. I like road trips, and I love meeting new people. However, my calling, which I knew way long ago, was not in a church body. It's not. My calling is to help those who need a touch from God. I'll tell you what. I got to give a big shout out to my dad and my mom. They feel bad for, they had taught me to be very um, self assured and very reliant upon myself. I've never had to rely on them or ask them for anything. And I'm 43. They have helped me with loans and stuff. Not pay them, but like co-sign and stuff like that. My first car, to build my credit, um, my dad had co-signed for. And he had offered to let me keep the car that he bought me, which was just it was a little crappy piece of crap. But it was, good starter car because I made my first mistakes in that car driving. So like I didn't want nothing real expensive. And I got me from point A to point B, but then it started nickel and diming me, and I got out of school and I got a job, and I wanted to start building my credit. And I did. I ended up getting myself a nice brand new on the showroom Geostorm. Yeah, talk about old. I'm old. But I got that at the age of 19. I started I was a CNA. I worked at the same place my mom did. My mom was in cleaning. And my mom did that for a long time. My mom had a hard job. But I noticed getting ostracized even there, like from that age. Like this has been my whole life, people. And working in a nursing home when you're 19, you know, I was wiping asses at 19 years old. Wasn't really my forte, but I had to do something. I was making $4.75 an hour. Yeah, that was minimum wage back then. Yeah, $4.75 an hour. To be lifting people screwing up my back and my neck. $4.75 an hour. Now CNAs are making $16 to $20 an hour, which is rightfully earned. But, either way, off on that tangent, my parents taught me at a young age to be sufficient for myself. My mom, she don't drive. My daddy does. My daddy's getting older, though. My earthly parents have been pretty friggin' wonderful. There were some things in my childhood, though, that had come up that during this whole healing process that I had to recognize. I needed to recognize it. I needed to forgive it. And then I needed to move on from it. Guess what? You don't forget. Forgiveness isn't for you. Or forgiveness isn't for the other person. Forgiveness is for yourself. One of the things that was always so important for my parents was that, because they both grew up very poor. My dad lost his father at the age of 9. And then my grandmother ended up getting with either a sociopath or a narcissist. And my dad and my aunt were abused. Big time abused. I'd like to find that guy. I would. How he treated my grandmother and my father and my aunt. I'd like to find him. Pretty sure he's behind bars, but oh yeah, I'd like to find him. Considering I I'm a sociology major. I would love to find him and interview him. And then let him know at the end, I'm Wayne Yeager's daughter. Lois Roby's granddaughter, motherfucker. I know what you are. You helped destroy my family after my grandpa passed, but you didn't succeed. His day of burning in hell's coming. I'd also like him to know, even though my grandmother might have went by the last name Roby, her tombstone says Yeager. Motherfucker, she was a Yeager. Well, actually, it's Zimmerman, but she was my grandfather's wife, not yours. She was narcissistically abused by this son of a bitch. So is my father. So is my Aunt Jude, or my other aunt. And here's the thing. Nobody could understand why she would stay with somebody like that. Well, he'd call my grandma Mama. She wasn't your mama. I hope she's haunting your ass, motherfucker. If you're not dead, I hope she's haunting your ass. My grandma was a strong lady. And I've always said, I say it to my family all the time, I'm like, oh my God, I got so much of Lois in me. I have so much of my grandma in me. But my grandma, I'm talking ancestral shit here. My grandma ended up, having a few boyfriends over her, in her elder years, but nothing ever worked out. And I'm pretty sure it's because she didn't understand. She was kind of a magnet for these sons of bitches. Another guy came into her life and treated her like, at first treated her great and then treated her like trash. My grandma was like, whatever. At the end, she was just like, what the ever. Oh, well, I'm done with this. I don't want to be with anyone else. Screw it, But if Nana would have understood to remove that narc magnet, she might have found a really nice older gentleman. My grandma loved Jesus too. Oh yeah, she loved Jesus. However, my grandma also could pick out of her room. She could pick the evil person. She didn't like evil people. She could tell just by the look on their face whether or not they were a good person or not. And guess who's with me all the time now? Guess. Oh yeah, my grandma. Yeah, I know she's like happy where she's at now. My grandma had a hard life. Part of the reason why my daddy worked so hard when us kids were young, because he did not want us to ever feel that we couldn't, afford the essentials that we needed. My dad was a great provider, like I said. I just wish, and he did what he had to do. He was reserve military. He went into military when he was 17. My grandma. My mama got pregnant with me. My daddy and my mom were meant to be together. My daddy and my mom, they were put together at the age of 12 and 14 and have been together ever since. Yep. So they give me hope. Even though they fight sometimes, and, there's things where I feel like my mom, I understand where my dad's coming from when it comes, because I know what abuse does. And my mom had a hard life though too. Like, there was so much tragedy in my parents' young age. And it's like an ancestral thing. I personally, during this summer, had to go through and forgive ancestors for things that they never did to me, but it was just ancestral curses and stuff like that, of how I knew things. And I listened to my intuition, and as things would come up, like, I had to forgive my grandfather I never met. I had to go through myself and forgive him, because there was just this sense of loss that I felt, that I never got to meet him. But as I got older, I realized, guess what? He was a Pisces. So he's all around us. He visits us. He visits me a lot in my dreams. So he would have been the best grandfather ever. I know it. He would. He would have been great. But even from on the other side, like, he's still there. He's still around. He's watching out. He has 19 grandkids. That's a lot of visiting to do. But there's I think that there's certain ones of us who he kind of has really watched out over, because of the shit that he probably realized that we were predestined to go through. So he's been a huge support system for, especially on the granddaughters. Us granddaughters on my daddy's side are all very, very, very sensitive. His daughters are all very sensitive. My aunt, the other Aries in the family, she was born with the veil over her face. And if anybody knows what that means psychic abilities. She's trying here. Hang on, it's not coming out. I'll call that back later. Yeah. Having really keen abilities. My aunt, it's so weird. If she's around, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about, like, being a human vortex, where spiritual things are just attracted to you because you're like a vortex, or just your presence attracts lost souls that want to heal or that want to cross over. People don't believe in that. People think once you're dead, you're dead. Or people think that there's no such thing as ghosts. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. It's all, if you're religious, it's all over the Bible. all over the New Testament about ghosts. Heck, they call the Holy Spirit the Holy Ghost. it's it's unbiblical to not realize that there's demons, there's angels, there's also people who get stuck, especially if they died during wartime or an untimely death. They were murdered. My aunt, she could be just sitting there in her car. I'll give you a perfect illustration. Ghost box. They call these things ghost box, where they like the frequency and you can pick up on words or whatever. And my aunt, she could just be sitting there all by her lonesome. She's getting people asking for her through this box. Asking for her all the time. She didn't mind in her own damn business. But it's because she was born with this sense. And the like, I looked it up when someone told me she was born with a veil on over her face. I was like, oh. That's what my family's about. We're all sensitive. And it gets stronger with every generation. And a lot of times with these, you feel like you're going fucking crazy. You feel like you're losing your shit. You're thinking, no, wait a minute. I was always taught by regular, normal religion that this stuff doesn't exist. When you die, you go to the other side automatically. No, that's another choice. If any of you saw the movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze, yep, the light appears. Yep. If you're in the middle, if you were tragically taken out and you don't realize you're dying and that light comes and you don't get to it, guess what happens? You get stuck in the tragedy. And then you have to find somebody who's clairvoyant or clairaudient or clairsentient to help you get into the light again. Yeah, your body's dead, but your spirit lives on. And until your ass gets into the light and you meet whatever your fate is, whether it is to go, if you didn't meet your potential in this life, or you're afraid of what your potential is going to be, you'll be stuck. I have a ghost in my house who doesn't want to move on because he feels guilty for what he did to his whole damn family. Not the nicest of guy, obviously. He doesn't fuck with me, though. Nope. He's confined. I don't want to be cruel and mean to him, though. So, we were supposed to move him on. My cousins and them, they said that they did. And my house has been quite calm since. But I still feel it. I feel the residue of him. Down in my basement, mostly. So, I confined him to there. He's not allowed to come up here. He's not allowed to mess with shit. So you want to know what he did when he was so mad when I confined him to the basement? He started fucking with my electrical shit in the basement. He pretty much, for some reason, my washing machine just went haywire. Good Bose washing machine. Sitting down there, not being able to be used. I have some pathetic little washing machine. I wanted to get it fixed last year. I didn't have the money. Well, guess what? Got a job. Still don't have the... Now I need another one. I still don't have the money to get it fixed. Either way, Yeah. My view on religion has changed a lot. Either way, I still believe, and always will, our best friend through this whole thing, Jesus the Christ. I came into this through him. He's led the way. He showed me, he's allowed me to go through tribulation where I thought I was going to frickin' die. He's allowed me to make mistakes and failures. You're fucking up. Yeah, you're screwing up. What are you going to do about it? Yeah, you're feeling bitter. Yeah, that happened. Now what are you going to do about it? You're going to stay in it? You're going to stay in it. It's your choice. You can stay in it. You can stay miserable. But it's that smile. You want to help people. I put a smile on your face. And I put joy down in your belly. That people can feel. Especially narcissists. Yep. People are going to want to stomp that fire out. They're going to want to hurt you. But guess what? I got lots of angels watching out for you. And now you figured out, you deployed them. You know how to deploy them. You send them on missions. I have a legion of angels watching out over me. I needed it. Is what God's called me to? Actually, I could use a few more legions of angels. Because it's going to take a lot of expended energy. But this has been the most healing time of my life. So, one of the things, like I think I said it earlier in this video, but I had to get off the one. They were a great group when I first started, going through the pain, and they were so empathic. And it wasn't that I wanted to leave the group permanent, like to be rude or cruel. It more had to do with the fact, oh yeah, no wonder this isn't working again. More had to do with the fact that I wanted to move forward out of, being in this ruminating thing and giving those narcissists any more of my time or thought process. Because when you do, it gives them supply. Well, I've kind of been watching people through there. And I finally had enough of this bullshit of feeling sorry for myself. And I noticed I've been doing the work as far as going no contact. However, like I made one last, this is a while ago, a few weeks ago, I made one last fuck you, letting that person know you didn't get the best of me and the best is yet to come. Yeah. You ain't ever going to have this again. So, good luck with your life. Remember karma. So, and as he's like, yeah, karma's kind of getting me. Like, I didn't know it was by you, too. I'm like, surprise, bitch. It's because of what you did to me. And I'm happy now. Because I'm not living in that way of thinking anymore. I'm not. I refuse to feel defeated anymore. I'm not a defeated entity. I'm not. I overcome that bullshit. And I don't want to say I overcome that person, because that's kind of, I overcome their tactics. I overcome their ways. I'm victorious because I didn't stay in it. I didn't stay a victim. And that's what I noticed on this thing is it seemed like there was people on there who weren't looking for help. They were staying in victim mode, and I couldn't help it but be like, oh, I can't be around these people or even see their news feed anymore because it breaks my heart that they've been on there for a freaking year now and they're still in victim mode. Took me 90 days to a little over 90 days to get out of victim mode. Can't stay in it. That's been my whole thing, my last few videos. You want to know what? Yes, we've gone through hell. Yes, these people destroyed our sense of self. Yes, now it's time to rebuild. So do it. Oh, but the narcissist this and the narcissist that and the narcissist. Who fucking cares what they're doing? That's why no contact is so important right now. And it's not that I don't have empathy, and it's not that I don't understand where they're coming from, but because first 2 months I was like, yeah, pretty pissed off at being abused and all that. But I realized the more I was like, oh, he has new supply. I don't know if my narcissist. I went no contact. I don't check up on his shit. I don't really care what he's doing. Let him go fuck all of California. I don't care. I don't give a shit. And the fact that these empaths, which I think are codependents, there's a lot of people in there who aren't empaths. Empaths, guess what they do? They get back up and they move forward with the knowledge that they got. Codependents will end up staying broken, finding somebody else equally abusive, or worse, because they don't get the whole lesson behind it. And the lesson is lean into yourself. Greater is in you than what's around you and what you see. You hold the key to unlocking your own freaking healing. And the more I was healing, the more, and I understand when people first are getting out of this. I do. I don't mind. I want to help people who want to get free and stay free and never, and if obviously we're going to come up against these people, obviously these people will try and hoover back at one point. Obviously. Well, there's narcissists everywhere. It's like how I'm trying to figure out how to deal with them. Like when I finally get back out there, how am I going to deal, with their manipulation? Because I've been screwed over and screwed out of a lot of things that were due me because of them. I should have never lost my job, but it happened for a reason. It was getting my emotions back to a regular state of homeostasis. So it's off again. No. Yeah, sorry for doing my hair the whole time I'm talking to you, but my whole thing is just having joy. That and how a smile just, kind of like when you smile. That has two effects either. People, either they smile at you because they sense your radiance and happiness and joy, or they get pissed because they don't have that. Like I said, my old boss would tell me when I come into work with a huge smile on my face and be like, "Good morning, everybody." They didn't like that. They didn't like that at all. They didn't appreciate it. And my boss had told me, there's a lot of people who worked here for years and they're miserable, and you don't want, you might want to come in here and not say smiling all the time because you're going to really piss people off and then you'll become a target. Why? But yeah, she'd come in there every day with a big old smile on her face, with her high pumps on, and acting like she's all high and mighty every day. And I noticed the more time I spend in that place, the more leery I got of people, the more sensitive I got of people, and the more I noticed they didn't like me. They thought they were better. They thought they were better. Wow, they might have been better to a degree. As far as with sucking at life and being friggin' miserable. But guess what? They weren't better than me when it comes to helping people and loving people and caring about people. I was a blessing to those people, and they screwed it up. So now I have a feeling like I have this kind of like I have a feeling I'm kind of getting like sort of like a visual, like, I have this feeling that they're going to have a mass exodus out of that place. Because of the tyrants of bosses that are in there now. That's kind of like my feeling. They're always low for positions in there anyway. Like they always need case managers, and they always need people. Like, and it did take a long time because you have like a packet of that thick of paperwork that I've never even saw in my life that I had to learn how to do and what it was for and why it was for that. But, it happens. Like I said, I have a feeling there's that mass exodus about to happen there. And there's going to be other people coming forward with how bad they were treated. They're not going to want to come back to me. And they wouldn't have the fucking humility to come back to me. So, it takes forever to do my hair. I did a video the other night of all the freaking sparkles within my skin now, and it's nuts because it's not like they're translucent, and it's like it sits above. It's the weirdest thing ever. It's very odd. But yeah, the video is on here right before this. So that's one of the things that I also know, like during this whole ascension thing, like I just kind of like, the only thing that I can relate it to when it comes to that term, is in a religious sense that I know. Good, I don't feel so bad, Dana. Dana, have you been feeling tired a lot? like really tired, like this week, I've been exhausted. But like I know like the energies and stuff, like the friggin' upgrades to the friggin' DNA to our system. And then I go online and I see something about, our DNA is upgrading to so we can handle the fifth dimension that's happening, even though our upgrade, the upgrade that they're saying that's taking place, like it gives you like some of the symptoms and the bone restructure, so you'll have pains or headaches or migraines, feel shooting pain. I had that on Monday, but not so much. I've just been so tired, and I was told that these system upgrades are happening during your sleep, so like rest is essential right now. And I even went to bed early last night. I was in bed by 1 o'clock in the morning, which is early. That's early for me. Usually I'm till 3, 4 o'clock. I made myself go to sleep. I didn't even wake up till noon today. I couldn't. I needed rest. But this has been happening to me. I shouldn't need 12 hours of sleep. I shouldn't. I shouldn't need 12 hours of sleep. Should only need 8. I should have been able to be up by 8 or 9 o'clock this morning, and I wasn't able to. Why am I sleeping so late? Because my body needed it, I guess. Shit's a changing molecularly into a cellularly, should I say, from a carbon base to a crystalline base. And you want to know what? I'm pretty sure when this is just the one thing I'm putting together with this whole thing. When our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ was crucified, put in the tomb, and he arose on the third day, and Mary came and he showed himself to her. He asked her not to touch him because his body had not yet been ready for ascension. Even though ascension was 40 days after he rose. I think that's what happened. He went through a shift from human into spirit body, so that when he went and ascended into the higher realms, everything didn't burn up. Just so you know. Pretty sure he had to go through a cellular thing in his human body. And the reason he even came back, rose from the dead, because human beings can't see past the nose on their face. So God put this in a nice little thing for me to be able to explain to you all. If you're going through ascension symptoms, look it up. It's all over YouTube. This has been happening for years and we haven't even realized it. Mine actually started in 2006. And I had a plan for my life. God had a big old plan for me. And he allowed me to go through tests and trials. All during this time, we're getting cellular DNA upgrades. Now it's just really freaking kicking in the high gear. You're a light worker. You're a light worker. It's which I know I'm called to that. Like, we've had rough lives. We've been hurt, abused, treated like crap. Many of us have gone through rape, whether it's a rape of your soul or a rape of your body, some both. I want to talk to you about something here. These ascension symptoms. We're going to start seeing some crazy ass shit magically take place with people, such as being able to walk through walls, being able to be in one place and 2 minutes later being somewhere else, maybe across the world. Called astroplane, like astro travel. Sounds a little far-fetched. Sounds a little new agey. No, you wanna know what? Jesus did it. Greater works shall you do than even me, said Jesus Christ. So, yes, I love Jesus. But I believe in the power of God and his love for humanity to those who he commissions, that he now can trust with power that is going to be used for good. We went through a training, a huge training, and paradigm shifts within our own soul and spirit. I mean, come on. From the Jesus, oh my gosh. I want to talk a little bit about Jesus here for a second. He screwed with the Pharisees' heads. He screwed them up with the law. He did. Like these Pharisees, they knew all about the law. Don't eat pork. Don't you dare eat pork. Don't eat of the unclean. And then Paul comes in and says, you want to know what? The only thing that's unclean is what you make unclean. So he gave us rule over all the, do what you want. Just, bless to your body, pray first. Oh, stone this person to death. If they so much as look upon somebody, stone them. Jesus comes in with this message of, he who is without sin, you cast the first stone, son of a bitch. He who is here in this crowd that wants to accuse you or accuse this person of whatever, you're without sin. Have at it. Here, take the first stone. They all turned around and walked away. They tried to trick up Jesus and they couldn't do it. Like I said, the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. That's how Jesus came into this world to do things and shifted in a different paradigm way from the law. I pretty much think, and I'm saying it, I pretty much think that God, there was going to come a perversion of the Old Testament. With I think he knew Well, hold up a minute. I know he knew Islam was going to happen, and he allowed it. And they were going to pervert it even. They were going to pervert it. So yes. It's all about love. It's all about how you love people with a pure heart and pure motives. A lot of people don't have pure motives. So they see an empath, or they see somebody who is full of happiness and joy and love, and they try to destroy it. That's not that person. That's the enemy within that person. That's a fact. That's not the person. We don't wrestle against flesh and blood. We wrestle against evil. You know, we think evil people are, whatever. No. No. We see their show. We got to start looking at people's fruit. That's why I said, I'm gonna freaking start putting notes all over my house. You'll know them by their fruit. You'll know them by their fruit. You'll know them by their love. You'll know who they are by how they treat people. As a reminder to myself not to just be open to people, and help me discern what's what. Because as an empath and as a light worker, we want to help everybody, and we want to love everybody, and we want everybody to be happy. But not everybody wants. They want to kill, steal, and destroy the creative work in you. The love that you carry, especially when they see that you can smile. After what they've done to you, you can still laugh and smile and be like, good try, Satan. Good try. You didn't succeed. Now you just made me upset with a fire down in my belly. You ain't winning. It's the way it is. So, thank you for hanging out with me as I'm doing my hair. But yeah, I'm going to do tarot tonight. I'm going to go to the grocery store right now because I need to get some good... I need to get some decent food. I need to get some like fruit and vegetables. I haven't eaten. If I eat, it's not the best stuff. You know. Gotta get fruit and vegetables, and I'm really craving salads. I don't know about you guys. The grocery store's calling. I don't even know if I feel like going today, but my refrigerator is like empty. I got a ton of money to go. It's not that I don't got money to go to the grocery store, because I do. That's the worst shopping for me, and I don't know why that is. What, anybody else hate going to the grocery store? I hate it. Like, I despise going to the grocery store. For some reason, I don't know why. I just don't like it. It sucks. Not my favorite thing to do. Maybe I'll just make something quick and then do my hair. I'm going to do readings. I'm going to do the air signs. I'm going to do Gemini and Aquarius. I'm going to do Gemini and Aquarius, and then I'll probably hit Pisces since we're here. I already did Libra, which is the only one I did. And I'm going from there. Yeah, most people will start at Aries. I've done too many, Aries is my sign. I love my Aries. I'm an Aries. I love it. But I got to start showing more love to the other signs. However, if I don't get views or comments or whatever from the other signs, I'm going to stick to the signs that actually give a shit about what I have to say. So I'll do them signs first. And the rest, well, they'll get it when they get it. My Aries have been pretty good to me. There for a while, I don't know, I couldn't figure out why. Like, I wasn't reaching them. But after a while, I did. Here's a problem now. I'm not sure why my stuff hasn't been getting pushed through and everybody else's is. And I think it has to do with the fact of me uploading. And I'll go live, which actually does go on stream. Like, they're there and, you know, they're in. But for some reason, I don't know if, oh my gosh, look at this. I don't know if, maybe I needed to do this. Hang on a minute. I'd rather do my stuff live because there it is then. I would. I'd rather do my stuff live because it doesn't take up storage on my phone. Either way, yes. If you're at the same spot I am when it comes to, I'm going to end this video. If you're at the same spot that I am, because, like, you want to get your joy back, you're tired of talking about these damn narcissists, you're tired of dealing with the friggin', feeling down and feeling like, why me? And feeling like a victim because of it. He's not going to take it well. You are a good supply. He's not going to take it well. I'm glad you escaped. Now it's time for you to get happy. Here's the thing, honey. What he does, you have to realize you're an... It took me so long to see through it. I know, they're really good. They're smart. In the sense that they're good at conniving. But you have to be better at discerning. I've been no contact, except for to let my ex-narc know that he's a piece of trash. And I know what he is. And he's evil. And you wonder what he did? He sent me a message saying, basically confirming what I already knew. Like, it was straight from the pit of hell. The text message, and if you want to see it, I'll show it to you. The text message he wrote me was, oh, yeah, I understand. After someone's been with me, you know, after someone spends so much time away from me, they feel like they can't help but come back after a few months because I left a crater-sized hole in their soul. Which then you just need somebody level-headed to guide you through life when they're with me. He thought that would hurt my feelings. It didn't hurt my fucking feelings. That to me was a confirmation I freaking pulled out all stops When I messaged him, I pulled out all stops and I made the demon manifest right there. He couldn't help it. I told him, I'm like, I'm not like your exes. You mess with the wrong empath, buddy. Get ready for karma now. I'm getting out of the way. Like, I'm getting out of the way. Like, ruminating about these pieces of shit ain't doing me any good. Releasing them to what the higher powers want to do is my revenge. Yeah. And do you want to know what, honey? I'm going to tell you what. You're going to need support because it's going to be extremely hard. I know I felt extremely empowered when I first left, but the thing with me is I went through this feeling of, and it happened about, for the first 2.5 weeks, I was no contact. I felt okay. I felt good. I felt like finally I'm free. Finally. And then I started feeling that longing, and I started feeling like I was missing him, and I started feeling like, and it was totally an attack. It was an attack because they have it's psychic vampirism. Like they are able to control our emotions. They're able to control our emotions, and they're at one point and there has to be a cutting off that you do. Like I did a few videos before this where you can tell like I'm getting more and more pissed. It's extremely dark magic. And for some reason, what they don't get though is, yep, it works on for a time for an empath. Only for a season. Only for a season. Yeah, I did laundry, so it's all over my bed. Sorry. It works only for a season. So, hey, do they ever heal? Okay, I did a video on this yesterday. On how I felt like I honestly had asked this question because this has been throughout like the community of survivors, or should I say they're still in victim mode. I had to get out of that group. And it wasn't that I wanted to be rude. I didn't want to be rude. And I didn't want to seem, but they only wanted to talk about the narcissist. Well, the video I did Monday or Tuesday, and then I did some over the weekend about like this happened to me in the workplace too. This wasn't just by an interpersonal relationship. I already told you it happened to me in church. It happened to me in my whole damn life. It happened to me in church. It happened to me in interpersonal relationships. It happened to me with family members. It happened to me, not necessarily like close family members, but like, yeah, I'm pretty sure when I was reading my one, not my favorite grandma, but I'm not going to say it on here because I don't want to hurt my mom's feelings. I'm going to smoke a cigarette, by the way. But I'm pretty sure my one grandma was a narcissist. The way she'd manipulate. And they also talk about narcissists in old age. There's a woman online, Balanced Psychologies. She's amazing because she's a psychiatrist. She's also been narcissistically abused. But she had said, like, from some of her research she did, that narcissists in old age, yeah, they get mean. They end up with dementia. It's part of the disorder. They get dementia. And then by the time that they're like ready to completely lost it, they completely lose their personality at the end. So they no longer have that personality disorder, but they don't know nothing. They're completely void. My great grandmother had dementia, and my other grandmother her daughter had dementia. And it's sad to watch. But it does make everything's starting to make sense for me now. Which can I have your first name? I know your YouTube name is Getting Lynn, but it's very I have an Aunt Linda. She's my favorite too. She's my favorite aunt. She's one of the most giving, loving people I've ever met in my life. On my dad's side. I don't really talk to a whole lot of people on my mom's side. There's a reason why. Narcissist. And I can tell, like, my poor mom, she's constantly biting her fingers and the skin around it. I do that too. If I don't have fake fingernails on, I'm constantly... Nice. My poor mom. I'm pretty sure her dad was... I didn't spend a whole lot of time. I talked to my dad's side of the family. Because we're all empathic and or light workers and or both. My mom decided that she was gonna forgive her sister. And rightfully so, that's fine. Forgiveness is always a good thing. Keeping an eye open is always a good thing. But I tried to warn my mom. So she's my sister. I get that. But just watch for the red flags. Because I'm pretty sure she goes through cycles where, and it was weird because she was hating on me for the longest time, my aunt, and then as soon as she made amends with me, she started fighting with my mom and my sister. And I'm like, no, we're not divided. No, I always have my mama's back. Sorry. I love my aunt. She's my aunt. I love my cousin. But I don't tolerate bullshit abuse. And it's that same line with my great grandmother to my grandmother. This narcissist, the last one. Here's the thing. I noticed when I started not labeling him as my narcissist, or I started calling him the narcissist or that narcissist or narcissist A. I started losing the power and grip it had on me. Not my narcissist. He's a narcissist that narcissist. And the power that you have when you smile and you radiate joy. And it comes, I don't know, when you're really happy, it comes from within. They can't make that. So they see it in you. Okay. You asked a question. on whether or not I feel a narcissist can get healed. Hang on a minute. This is good. Okay. There was something that I felt drawn to, and it just came to me when I was talking about it in my other videos that I'd done on narcissism. And I really felt that, yes, they can possibly get better. But you want to know what it's going to take? A Saul to Paul conversion. It's going to take a divine intervention and them falling flat on their face. Almost a near-death experience, like Scrooge, for them to see the evil they're doing and turn away from it and choose love. But that takes a Saul to Paul conversion. Acts chapter 9. If you have a Bible, get to it and read it. That's what I'm talking about. Then I think they can change. Anything you say, I say, anybody else says, counselor, therapist, they think they're smarter than them. They do. They think they're so smart. They're not. I'm smoking a cigarette. I hope you don't really mind. I need a cigarette. This is the first one I had all day. Trying to quit. Well, hi, Jack. Yeah. Your joy, that's the first thing they want to snuff out. Because it's your light. Guess what? At least I got her joy back. And I'm happy with myself. And I'm happy with just life. And not being... my energy being sucked away anymore. Now I'm conserving energy because of the changes that I'm going through. The physical changes that I'm going through. It's kind of cool. And he can't be a part of that. He's got to figure it out for himself. I was there for a season. I was there for a time. Not anymore. Good luck, Mr. Narcissist. All the ones that I dealt with. You'll be humbled. Every knee shall bow. And I'll be happy to do it. Because I know who holds the power. I'm a light. My light's going to shine even brighter now. Wow. Makes me happy. Every day, like I said, every day I'm getting better. Every day I'm feeling better. Yes, I do need a lot of sleep because my body, my cellular body has been going through changes. But I'm ready. I've been watching the signs of the times. So, like I said, these videos will be out for people who end up stuck here. Much love, y'all. You know what? And if God chooses to make me stay here, it's His choice to help humanity. Like, I'm thinking last night, like, from what I was hearing and reading, they're like, oh, well, you know, some people are going to have to stay back. Some people are going to have to go through the tribulation and help people. I'm like, oh, I just want to go home. Escapism mentality. If I'm chosen to stay, then I'm chosen to stay through it. I don't know. Hoping I'm choosing to go. Either way, I want to say oh my gosh, this is almost a 2-hour video, but hey, whatever. I enjoyed talking to you guys. Kind of got on all kinds of subjects, but, you know, it's just the whole illuminating and being happy with who you are. That's where you find real, true joy. Being you. Not trying to be somebody else. Being yourself. So, you guys have a great day. I'm going to get on and start doing readings now. And I think because I want to do a bunch of them, I'm not doing the video version. I'll have to do them live. I don't care. At least I'm going to get them out. So, I'm going to do Gemini. You have a good day. See ya. Bye.